So some of this that I'm doing could be entitled Confessions of a Lifelong Sunday School Teacher. One of the things that I think about teaching small children is when I think of the parents are really sandwiched between their little kids and, work, each other, whatever's going on above them. From a spiritual standpoint, they should be sandwiched between the challenges that they hear in church, and then whatever I'm teaching, feeding the children, that should create sort of a sandwich, a spiritual sandwich. Because raising children is an intense time of sifting. So there's a lot of attitudes flying around the whole world right now, and I do mean attitudes. And I can tell you, I can spot those attitudes from, across the street. They are so familiar to me. I can tell you where they came from, and there's a lot to know about that. And that comes from teaching small children in Sunday school. So you will know whose parents are having an affair. You will know what their attitudes are, what their political beliefs are. Children frequently tell on their parents and enjoy doing so in obvious and not in subtle ways uh, to a Sunday school teacher. So I'm going to give you an example of some words I have heard frequently from small little boys. And it goes like this. I don't have to listen to you. Women are stupid. They don't know anything. End quote from a 5-year-old. And you know where they heard it? You know where they heard it? Someone didn't give them, tell them to tell me that. Actually, I can think of one father in particular, but it's been modeled in front of them. They're just watching um, the attitudes and the thoughts of their parents, and they're taking careful notes. So when as I'm dealing with gaming addiction and I'm aware of kind of the male female dynamic goes on, I know that there's an underpinning of disrespect and contempt for women. I've seen the other side too. So I want to say there's two sides to this. I had a grandmother who literally her mantra was, I hate men, I hate all men. So I mean, we have some pretty nasty attitudes and we model them. They like come out of our pores. They show up in what we say and how we say it and what we do. And we can deny our internal thinkings. We can, but ultimately the only person we deceive is ourselves because we betray ourselves. Everything we do shows up. Absolutely. How you treat the clerk at the grocery store, the barista at Starbucks, anybody who serves you, you're going to see someone's genuine attitude. Someone may pay homage to someone that's over them, but you're going to see it. You're going to see it. It's going to be obvious. So, so obvious. And as a Sunday school teacher, you have to get to the root of this and deal with this problem. So very often when I have a comment like this, I'm like, oh, dropping your children off for me, the unpaid servant, and telling them they don't have to listen to me. Interesting strategy. Let's see if we can get dad in here and we can have an adult conversation about this. Frequently, dad won't show up. Dad's a coward, absolute coward. So I taught for years near military base, and boy, was this a problem among military parents, men and women. Disrespect was a huge problem. So unless you had some power or authority over them, everything, all the negativity rolled downhill, and there was no responsibility going on there. But what I found out is when the person's an officer and they disrespect you in your Sunday school class, you can go to their commanding officer, which I found to be quite helpful. Just so you know, um, it's not a free-for-all out there. God provides avenues and ways for people to get some feedback about their behavior. I know we're in this time of cacophony, and I would encourage you not to be frightened and intimidated and overwhelmed by it, but to think in terms of the fact that the loudest voices are the most childish and insecure voices. And there's a lot of noise out there because there's a lot of children in adult bodies. And we do business with this all the time in a 12-step program. We're helping people to grow up. That's what we do. So don't fret, don't worry about what's going on over there, out there. Worry about clean your own house. Clean your home. That's where the power is do your own housekeeping. And when you've cleaned your house, you won't be so troubled by other people's behavior. It's not going to rattle you. You'll know when to act and when not to act, when to speak up, when to not speak, and what to say, how to proceed. So you've got to get that wisdom. June 22nd. My sharing at early Al-Anon meetings went something like this. She makes me so mad. And I'm a nervous wreck because of him. Thank God for a sponsor who always brought the focus back to me and encouraged me to look at what my words really said. When I blamed others for how I felt, I was giving them power over my feelings, power that rightly belonged to me. Nobody can make me feel anything without my consent. I had a lot of attitude changing to do. Today, by being aware of the words I use, I am learning to communicate more responsibly. I not only share in a more straightforward manner, but I also argue in a healthier way. There are better ways to express myself than to say, quote, you did such and such to me. I can talk about myself and my feelings. I can explain the way I experienced something rather than telling the other person how he or she made me feel. I can talk about what I want. I am no longer a victim. Today's reminder, what do my words communicate? Do they express what I am trying to say? Today, I will listen more closely to what my words have to say. And here's the quote. We learn in time that it is not subjects which are controversial, but the manner in which we communicate about them and the elements of personal blame we add to them in anger. End quote. The dilemma of the alcoholic marriage. So when you're assisting someone to unpack their troubles, I think there's a defining moment when you, as a sponsor, you're working with someone and you're talking about what was modeled in front of them and what was caught and instead of taught. And there may be words like never tell lies, lying is bad, people who lie are evil, and then the parent's a compulsive liar. And the children are taking notes is just highly confusing. So when you sort through some of those things, there's oftentimes a good laugh had when you talk about people's behavior and you realize, oh yeah, when I do that, I'm acting like a toddler. Oh yeah, when I do that, I'm acting like I'm 10 again. Oh yeah, that's the behavior of a teenager. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It pushes people away from me. It doesn't build relationships. Oh yeah, and yeah, I refuse to take responsibility for my behaviors. And so yeah, I lied about all that. You know, freedom. It's just freedom when we sort it out and we don't have judgments about how it came about. We just know it's a confusing world we come into. Parents aren't necessarily very mature, they're pretty confused. It's a lot of messiness. It's a lot of messiness to be cleaned up and no one's immune. It's just part of being human. All right. So I hope nobody says to you today, I don't have to listen to you because you're my mom or dad. and they're 30 years old and living in your basement gaming. Um, sorry, guys. It really is good to get to the place where you can laugh about this stuff. Blessings on your day.